What's up, YouTube? What's going on? You might have guessed it. I'm going to talk a little bit about an emergency custody order, an ECO. One of the things that I just thought about, I was at the gym and it just dawned on me something that I haven't mentioned, and I have a lot to mention on this topic. But it pertains to the time limit that they have when they issue an emergency custody order. They have 4 hours from the time you're picked up until the time, from the time you're picked up to complete an emergency custody order, which decides if you're going to be detained in a psych ward for 72 hours, I believe, and or longer. I'm not really sure if it's changed. But the 4 hours they have can actually be extended to 6 hours, but it has to be extended by the magistrate. So in my situation, I believe they extended it to 6 hours. I'm not sure. It felt like 6 hours. It felt like a long time. But here's what I just remembered that really bothers me, and I don't know if it was legal or if they even care as far as that goes. What happened to me was, after all the questioning and blah blah blah, they had determined that I was not going to be detained for 72 hours. I think, I'm assuming this because the police officer came and took the handcuffs off of me, and I guess that was when Region 10 had decided that I was not going to be detained. Region 10 is the third-party affiliate that comes in and basically makes sure that whatever hospital is supposed to detain you for the temporary detention order, they basically come in and they help decide. They basically make sure that the hospital is not screwing with you, I guess, because in my situation, Region 10 saved my butt, and for the right reason. But I lost my train of thought. Basically, what happened to me is they ran out of time. So I'm guessing they either ran out 4 hours or 6 hours. I'm guessing 6 hours. That's a long time to be getting grilled by doctors and psychologists. But anyways, here's what they did. A lady comes out and tells me that they have run out of time. So at this point, I could have just got up and left, and they couldn't have done a thing about it. But I didn't know that, I mean, I kind of did. Well, I was traumatized as hell by the time the thing was over. So she tells me that the time is up and I'm free to leave, but since I'm going to stay at my own will, she tells me basically that I'm staying at my own will. Hey, is that fair? Who wants to stay on their own will, and as they decide if you're possibly going to be detained in a temporary detention order? Do you feel me? Like, does that make sense? They come out and they tell me that I'm staying at my own will because they haven't yet decided what's going to happen. I had thought they did because they took the handcuffs off of me, but So after she tells me I'm staying at my own will, of course I'm just staying. I didn't know what to do. If I could have got my head clear, I would have been like, no, your time is up. I'm going home. Who wants to stay at their own will at a hospital where they're trying to put you in a psych ward? Kidding me? Seriously? So then, after I wait a little while at my own will, she tells me that, okay, you're going to be let go. They're going to take you home only if you come early in the morning to my office. I guess they wanted to make sure that I don't know. I guess they wanted to make I don't know what they were trying to do. That's what I'd like to find out. And of course, I'm still traumatized. I'm like, oh, I'll do whatever you guys want. I'm thinking to myself that. So I hadn't slept. I'm traumatized as hell. I'm all screwed in the head because of them. And I'm being told, actually Region 10 was the one that told me that I had to show up at the office the next morning. And I do appreciate what Region 10 did, but I'm kind of skeptical on that little last situation. So long story short, I showed up the next morning. Of course, they had my family there, like great. And I basically tell the whole story all over again about how this whole situation occurred, how I got the emergency custody order called on me. And I'm really kind of, I don't want to say pissed. I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit. But it kind of bothers me now that I really think about it, like a couple years later. But I stayed at my own will. Like, who would have stayed in that situation? Who the hell's going to stay at their own will? If they would have told me that I could leave anytime I wanted, and I had a train of thought going on at that time, I would have gone home. I did not want to stay on my own will. Anyways, I probably didn't describe or tell this situation well. I'm not that good at this, y'all. But if anybody knows what I'm talking about, or if you don't, you have an opinion, or you have anything to offer on that topic, and you watch this really boring video, get at me, because I'd like to know what you guys think.